Peace. My name is Corey Green. I'm a formerly incarcerated citizen. Said differently, I'm a professional with prison experience. I'm also a first year student in the Critical Social Personality Psychology program at the Graduate Center of CUNY. And I come to this conversation really to kind of like frame what we call it now the prison to college pipeline. And this pipeline is mostly accessible for people who experience the school to prison pipeline, being pushed out of school, being suspended from school at enormous rates that lead to them getting kicked out of school, that later lead to them in prison, that leads to imprisonment. And then these same individuals, while they're in prison or as soon as they're leaving prison, are starting to access higher education. And through the means of accessing higher education, they're finding ways to transform themselves, their families, and their communities. So it's important that I speak to what we now calling the Ban the Box campaign and a broader access to institutions of higher learning for those individuals who are formerly incarcerated, who have been stained with the label criminal, that they get access into these institutions not only because education reduces recidivism and ups in employment for this population, but these individuals have specific and unique gifts and capacities that help enrich in the academic institution, both intellectually and civically. These institutions bring diverse perspectives, lived experiences, testimonies, and they come with a sense of I know who I am. And when I applied to go into school, when I made that conscious decision to sign up for the application, it was not just because I wanted to get a 4.0. It's because I wanted to show my son that school is important. I wanted to show my community that I'm a leader. I wanted to give back to my family, to my community, to the society that I have taken from before. So going to school has this responsibility of that is much more that I need to do, and school becomes a means to rehabilitate themselves, but also to build society. So it's important that we understand that when colleges and admissions have questions on the application that are targeting this population, which is not race neutral because the majority of people that's in prison who have been labeled criminals or who have any kind of offenses are people who are non-white. So these people have to face this question and these practices and these policies when enrolling for college and also when trying to apply for jobs. So it's important that we educate students particularly, but also just the larger world around this issue. Because if we want a society where things is just, where we can start talking about equality, where we can start talking about not leaning on the government and public assistance, then we need to start talking about a society where people have equal access into the doors that lead to better health, better employment, sustainable futures. So with that being said, it's important that students get behind this Ban the Box campaign. It's important that students, family members, professors, academic administrators understand that individuals that are formerly incarcerated or people with criminal punishment histories, when they decide to apply to college, that they made a dedication to themselves, but it comes with this kind of sense of urgency that I need to do more for my community, I need to do more for my family, and that when they walk to the institutions, they're going to bring their best. And these students graduate at higher rates than their peers who don't have criminal punishment histories. Their GPAs are usually higher, and the myth that these individuals are threats to campus safety or public safety is ludicrous, because history and research has shown that college campuses are mostly done by people who are first-time offenders, not people who are formerly incarcerated or people who have prior criminal punishment histories. So once we start knowing the facts and we start understanding how education is being used to support social transformation, it's important that we open the doors. Thank you. Peace.
Hello, my name is Ronell McGill. Everyone calls me chrazell. I was just released about a year ago. Served a prison sentence of 15 years to life. That was what I was sentenced to. One of the things that helped me, I would have to say, survive and in many ways evolve while in prison was having access to, certain information. Professor Lawrence Mamiya, who is a professor at Vassar College, I came into Otisville Correctional Facility with an elective course called Social Change in Black and Latino Communities. That was my first college experience while being incarcerated. However, it's something that helped open my mind to different concepts and ideas that, helped me understand that, the thoughts and feelings that I had as an individual who has experienced life in a not too great way and have made a great deal of mistakes. It helped me understand some of the social structures that existed that I wouldn't say were to blame for committing my crime, but however did play a part in it. So, like I said, that is what helped me evolve. It helped me be able to look at life in a way to whereas, all right, not just look at the problems, but find positive solutions to them. A college education for an individual, not just in my position or my past position, is necessary because it allows individuals to have options. It gives them the necessary tools to make a productive life for themselves. It also provides them with, ways in which to challenge themselves to become better individuals. I think I've seen while inside, incarcerated, certain things like decision-making steps. When you're able to understand, that process, to sit and analyze, think about, the problem that you're faced with, for an individual who may not have the wherewithal or the wherewithal to go about critically analyzing this situation and circumstances, it leaves room for a person to react in an irrational way. So, like I said, with a higher education, it allows a person to, really get a closer look or take a closer look at the situation surrounding them. And for a person to be barred from this knowledge, from this ability to, how would I say, make progress in, life, to become a better person, it's, I believe, a crime, especially when looking at the statistics. Everything that shows that a person with a college education is more susceptible to do well in life than a person who does not have access to that information. And that's for both individuals who are incarcerated and those who have not been. I would say more so for individuals who have prison experiences because there are already barriers, stigmas that, surround that person's existence, I would have to say. So with a college education, a person with a criminal past is able to effectively communicate to a potential employer, how the transition has taken place from, the person they used to be to the person that they are at this present point in time. It also helps an individual to develop the necessary skills, whether it be hard skills or soft skills that is, needed in today's working world. So, an education is vital to a person's existence. Their ability, bye-bye, oh my goodness, I just said it. But anyway, is vital for a person's, to a person's ability to create a meaningful life for themselves. And that's finding meaningful employment, being able to present themselves in a manner that makes them, acceptable to landlords. And it helps to de-alienate, an individual from the greater, with the greater society. So, I say that to say education is the key to life. I remember hearing that a lot as a child. Thank you.
Hey, recording.
stop this. All right. Oh. Point on the screen. Interesting.
Hello, good evening. My name is Thomas Angel Porter. I go by A-Rocks, which stands for Angel Past the Rock. I got that name from a child, me playing basketball. Well, I like just to talk about why is it important for guys like myself that pretty much was previously incarcerated? Why is it important for us to go to college? Why is it important for us to be in college? And basically, I go to LaGuardia Community College. I started in 2012. I'm about to graduate in June of 2014 this year. I'm very happy for myself. I think it's very important for guys like myself to be sitting inside them classes, because most of the time a teacher might not know, or the students might not know, and we bring such this great gift to the class because of our experience and background. Like just sitting in a sociology class, I'm bringing the real stuff that they actually reading off paper and talking about inside these books. I'm bringing the real life experience of that. And sometimes there's a lot of faulty thing that's inside these books. Not to shoot down any teacher understanding or professor understanding, it's just the reality. I think it's very important for people to understand that the box that's on these applications to sign into college is very distressful, is very not relevant, because education is one of the key to keep people from going inside prison and keeping people out of prison. I'm 33 years old. I have a son that I would never want to ever face on prison, and I constantly tell him that education is the key in the way in his life, the way he should go, so he don't end up in jail like myself. How did I go on? I guess that's it. But for the most part, I think this movement that we having, this coalition that we having to abolish the box is very important, and people need to get involved with that. And with that, I'm signing off. Peace.